Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing some normal maintenance that I just have to do around my room while I talk about the future plans for this room. And I know I've already done a video about this, or you may know that I've already done a video about this, but some even further changes have come about, or will come about, especially because I got an absolutely huge aquarium, so stay tuned for that. Okay guys, so like I said, the room is going to be completely changing. To give you a basic rundown, this iguana cage here will no longer be an iguana cage. It'll be right there against that wall. You can't really see that, but there's a wall on that side. And then beside that, on that wall, which is what my bed's pressed up against, is going to be a new, way bigger iguana cage that basically goes up to the ceiling, okay? Right in the middle here, under this window, will be my bed, and then across the wall, that again, you guys can't really see, but what this stuff is on, that will be all fish tanks, okay? So, like I said, I got a huge fish tank. I'm really excited about this. I haven't filled it with water, but the seams look really good, and I will be doing that soon. I'm not super worried about it, because again, the seams look really, really good on it, and I doubt that it doesn't hold water. But I found this. It's a 125 gallon, and I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $50. Okay, and I've cleaned it. The two bars that are across the plastic bits that are across on that size tank, there's two of them, and they were both broken. One like a piece had fallen out, but luckily they still had the piece, and the other one, the piece was just there was just one crack going through. So what I did is I took plexiglass and I cut it, and I siliconed it onto the bottom of both of them. I'll show you in a different video how that is, or when I eventually set up this tank. So to basically reinforce it, and then I just super glued the pieces back together. So I'm not really too worried about that. I think that that'll end up being fine. I spilled a little bit of water here. I always have to make sure to change out my iguana's water because he poops in it. But sometimes I spill water. So I will be setting that up on this new wall that I will have cleared. So my bed will be here, like I said, and we're currently building a storage containment for to go under my bed. So then I'll no longer need the dresser that is right here, which again you can't quite see exactly. So by the way, today just doing normal maintenance. I gotta feed the geckos and just add water to a couple tanks. So what I'll do is I'll fill up a bucket, make sure it's the right temperature, and then go around and fill a couple tanks with it. So now some updates real quick. This tank over here, this 75-gallon turtle tank with all these goldfish, has not been doing all that great. I did get it clear for a little while, but it is now algae filled again. The water is all green, which is extremely unideal. I don't like it very much at all, but I'm kind of just dealing with it right now because, like I said, I'm going to have a 125 gallon, and that's what these turtles will be going into. Then what we're going to have is I have a 100-gallon pond outside that I will be setting up at some point in the new year, 2020, and that is where all the goldfish will go. And then I think we're going to set up a liner pond as well to put the goldfish in, because I'm going to need quite a big area, but just like a turtle pond outside. But the goal there is that I no longer want these goldfish to ever be inside, because there's just too many of them. And what I think's happening is that, because I watched some videos today, I know quite a bit about aquarium filtration, but it's always good to watch some like refreshers on like the nitrogen cycle and stuff. So what I think's happening is that none of the fish or turtles are being harmed by what's happening in that tank, but what's happening maybe is that the nitrates are building up because I don't have a whole lot of time to do water changes every weekend, and that's because I have school. Like normally weekends are just filled with homework, at least right in this time of the year. So, but I don't really worry about it because, like I said, none of the fish or turtles are being harmed. But what I think's happening is that the nitrates are building up, and there's only like 2 plants in there, so the algae is taking in the nitrates because there's tons of filtration and like area for like beneficial bacteria to grow on. So that's probably taking the ammonia from the fish poop, turning it into nitrite. More bacteria will turn it into nitrate, and I think that's what's building up in the aquarium. So what I need to do is more water changes to get that out of the water there. But again, don't exactly have time, and there's just so many fish in there. So I just don't think that the tank just can't properly sustain it, I guess, without having tons and tons of algae. So the whole goal is to get the goldfish completely out of my room, and then I won't really have to worry about that. And then when I set up the 125 gallon, it'll have those 2 turtles, and I think I'm going to block off an area, and we'll have Norman in that area, and then we'll see what other turtles. But that's pretty much it. That's all I want in the 125 gallon aquarium, just to make it a lot easier for me to clean, because obviously like I'm doing this all by myself, and with school it's just kind of ridiculous having this many things, which is why I stopped taking in turtles, because I can't handle it. I don't have that much time. I'm doing this really late at night because I've been studying all day for exams tomorrow and the next day, so that's fun. But now I'm feeding Darwin. So the plan with Darwin and Teddy is that they will be moving into this iguana cage here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 pieces of plexiglass within this tank here and make it 3 about 30 gallon sized tanks, which will be much better for the crested geckos because they'll be really tall, and so they're obviously a boreal, and they're more wide. They'll be more wide than this, and I'll be able to open it from the front. So that'll take a whole lot off of me, because the majority of the real part that's hard about taking care of these guys is spraying down the tank and then wiping off the glass, because I can't stand when there's water stains on the glass. It makes me mad. I really like the look of the terrarium, so I want to see it. So that's like the main amount of care that I actually have to do for these crested geckos. Like, they're really not that hard. So once I take that out of the equation by having doors that open from the front on their new enclosure, then they will be a whole lot simpler. Then if I only have like 3 turtles in a 125 gallon, which I plan on having a ton of filtration on and plants growing out of, then I don't think I'll have to do water changes all that often on the 125 gallon, which is good because the less I have to do that, the better. And then my plan is for the 125 gallon is I'll have the turtles, but I want to try to like fill it with guppies, because again they're like really small, and they wouldn't take a whole lot. There wouldn't be a whole lot of poop load there. But what I'm thinking is that I think they're small enough that the turtles won't really be able to like eat that many of them. I think they might be able to like sustain themselves within the tank. That's kind of my plan there anyway. But we'll see how that turns out. I am trying to take in guppies right now, and because I want to fill my my 55 gallon here with guppies. So the 55 gallon will be staying, not staying where it is, but it'll be moving over. So I'll have the 125 gallon, and then below it will be a 55 gallon, this tank, and there'll be the 75 gallon, this tank. Will be sitting below it, and then that will be the only fish tanks in my room. And then my thought process is, or my idea is, in the new iguanas enclosure, I'll have a fish tank, like a fish tank within it for him to swim around in, that can hopefully sustain, like, with enough beneficial bacteria and possibly plants. I don't know how I'd make that work, but we'll see. In it to sustain the amount of time, like the amount that he poops in it. So iguanas can swim really well, and they actually hide in water quite a lot. Like, I've been to Florida. Florida isn't native to them, but they do exist there, and they're invasive, but they do pretty well in Florida, and they do retreat into the water a lot of the time. So they're pretty good swimmers, and I don't think he'd have any trouble with it. He seems to like the water quite a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing this stuff. I don't think there's a whole lot more for me to be talking about, but I'll add anything in that I think I may have missed. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. Right here is the 125 gallon aquarium that will be going in my room. We're going to have it on a big old stand, and then we'll have a 75 gallon and a 55 gallon below it. And there's just a whole lot of changes that'll be happening to absolutely every enclosure in my room, except maybe the leopard geckos, because I just set it up. So I have a plan for where it will be as well. But as you can see, I have this huge piece of driftwood that spans perfectly the entire length of the tank, which is really, really cool, I think. And then under my bed will be these containers, and these are just, I don't know, just normal containers. My bed they're 27 gallons, and my bed under it will be able to hold 6 of them, and then also have drawers. So like I said, that's how I'll be able to get rid of my dresser, and then also store even more stuff than my dresser does, and also be able to house more animals. So I think like an underbed storage system is a really smart idea, especially if you're like me. I don't have a whole lot of clothes. That's pretty good. I'll have like 2 or 4 drawers total in that thing, and that will probably be able to hold all my clothes. And then these will be able to hold all different types of reptile stuff. I already have this one. This one was out in the garage. This is different stuff that's been like donated to me when I was taking in turtles. There's just a bunch of random filters and stuff in here. So those are the plans. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if you want more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in that next video. Please subscribe, because I'm so close to 500 subscribers. If you don't want to subscribe, don't. But like, please, like, I'm so close, and that'll be a really good feeling. I'll be halfway to 1,000. 1,000's my goal. I have no idea what I'm gonna do once I get to there, but I'm just I'm so close. It's going to be great when I see that 500. Have a fantastic day.